Hello everyone, you are watching Naresh IAS Academy YouTube channel. Today I will discuss next topic on history of Rajasthan, the Prajamandal movement, also called the People's Movement for Political Rights and the Responsible Government. For the English medium students, completely discuss the art and culture through the 18 videos on YouTube, and you may contact for RS or IS mains exam for the offline classes. The Prajamandal movement. Also called the People's Movement. First of all, beginning of the movement from the 1927, then the causes of movement, next objects. What were the demand and objects? And consequences. Okay. Through the map of Rajasthan, we can locate the different Prajamandal led by the different leaders in Rajasthan. First of all, what do you mean by the Prajamandal movement? The term Prajamandal refers to the movement of peoples of Rajasthan, and this was started by the Rajasthani peoples after the 1927. Why we are tracing the 1927 as the landmark date for the Prajamandal movement? Because on that date, All India States People Conference was organized, and this organization now instructed to all the princely states including Rajasthan for raising such kinds of movement for their political rights, economic rights, civil rights. Okay, then All India States People Conference was organized in 1927, and this was inspired by the Indian National Congress. That time Congress was leading by Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Subhash Chandra Bose and the other leaders. And after the instruction of All India States People Conference, the Rajasthan was also prepared for the movement. And what were the different causes of the Prajamandal movement in Rajasthan? You know, Rajasthan was under the monarchies or the princely states. There was no democratic structure, and all the princely states or monarchies were suppressing the political economic rights of the Rajasthanis. That's why when the Gandhiji were leading the freedom struggle against the British government, and Gandhiji was demanding different kinds of rights for the Indian people, and such rights were demanded by the Prajamandals in Rajasthan. There were the various causes, the multiple causes, the economic causes, political causes, social causes, and the cultural causes, and all the causes collectively inspired the peoples of Rajasthan for standing against the princely states and demanding different kinds of rights. What were the objects? What kind of rights that time they demanded? First, the political rights, right to vote and right to contest election, right to speech and expression, right to form the association, right to assemblies. And under the princely states, these rights were restricted or given very limited. And the peoples also demanded Rajasthan should cooperate with the remaining India's freedom struggle, because the Rajasthan was separated or neutral from the freedom struggle of country. And also the economic condition of the peoples of Rajasthan was very big due to the heavy taxation and the different kinds of regressive policies of the monarchs. And the so many demanded raised by the peoples, and these were the objectives and goals of the Prajamandal movement. Finally, the peoples pressurized the rulers of Rajasthan for maintaining the responsible government, the government which includes maximum peoples of Rajasthan, the representative of the different community of Rajasthan, and they demanded to overthrow all the monarchies from the Rajasthan. Different kinds of consequences. First, we have to discuss the various Prajamandal movements started by the peoples against the various princely states. Then the first landmark was the Amer state, or that time the Jaipur princely states. So this was the Amer or the Jaipur princely states, where the first Prajamandal or People's Organization Conference were organized in 1931. The Jaipur Prajamandal was the first Prajamandal of Rajasthan, formulated in 1931 by the Kapur Chand Patni, and later on there were some internal differences and it was reorganized in 1936. And when Chiranji Lal Misra and Hiralal Shastri joined the Prajamandal, then they enlarged the activities of the Prajamandal. And finally, the first annual apex conference of Jaipur Prajamandal was held at Jaipur in 1938, and that time Hiralal Shastri became the first president of the Jaipur Prajamandal. And at the time of Quit India movement, when Mahatma Gandhi started the Quit India movement against the British government, so that time the British government discussed with the Jaipur state not to cooperate the Indian freedom struggle, and Hiralal Shastri and the Prime Minister of Jaipur state, Mirza Ismail Khan, agreed on an agreement in 1942, and which is called the Gentleman Agreement, according to which Jaipur states will not participate in the freedom struggle or will not join the Gandhi's movement, the Quit India movement. And Hiralal Shastri that time had to face a threat from the other leaders of the Jaipur Prajamandal, and a group of leaders quit the Jaipur Prajamandal and they organized the Azad Morcha or Liberation Front. And the Liberation Front was led by the Ramkaran Joshi, Daulatram Bhandari and Baba Harishchandra, and this organization supported the Quit India movement of the Indian freedom struggle. Okay, so this is the history of Jaipur Prajamandal. Second, this is the Mewar Prajamandal. So that time the Mewar Prajamandal includes most of the geographical region of the South Rajasthan. Mewar Prajamandal was organized in 1938 by the Maniklal Verma and Balbant Singh Mehta. Balbant Singh Mehta was his first chairman in 1938 and finally so many leaders then joined the Prajamandal movement of the Mewar. In 1941, the first annual session was held in 1941 and it was chaired by the Maniklal Verma. And Verma that time raised a voice against the rulers of the Mewar, and Maniklal Verma wrote a book which is called the Vartaman Rananiti of the Mewar, the present scenario or strategy of the Mewar and the present governance in the Mewar, and also who raised a slogan against the Mewar state, Mewar ki pukar. And Maniklal Verma contributed too much for inspiring the peoples against the Mewar rulers, and finally that time the Indian leaders like the Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Vallabhbhai Patel provided the affirmative support to the Mewar Prajamandal, and in 1945 31st December and 1946 1st January All India State People Conference was held. This was the 6th conference of this organization at Udaipur, and it was presided over by the Jawaharlal Nehru. And finally, with the independence of India in 1947, now the ruler of Mewar announced or proclaimed the different types of the political civil rights of the people. And what was the political scenario of the Marwar Prajamandal? And that time the Marwar Prajamandal includes too much geographical region. Marwar, however, now is called the Jodhpur. Okay. Marwar Prajamandal was founded in 1934 by the Bhamarlal Saraf, Achleshwar Prasad and Abhemal Jain, and it was also supported by Jainayan Vyas, Chandmal Surana, Ranchordas Gattani. And before the Marwar Prajamandal, Chandmal Surana awared the peoples against the Marwar monarchies, and in 1918 Chandmal Surana founded the Marwar Hitkarni Sabha, the Marwar Benevolence Association, and J.N. Vyas in 1920 established the Marwar Service League. Finally, J.N. Vyas provided the political or philosophical basis to the Marwar Prajamandal, and later on in 1936 there was a dramatic incident took place in the Marwar when Krishna Kumari, a female, was kidnapped and she was imprisoned elsewhere, and the Marwar Prajamandal that time raised the question to search the women, but the Marwar rulers not succeeded for searching the women, and that time in 1936 Marwar Prajamandal celebrated the Krishna Day, and at the same time the President of All India States People Conference in 1936 visited the Marwar states, and he discussed on the various issues and provided technical and the financial support to the Marwar Prajamandal. And this was the Bikaner Prajamandal. Bikaner Prajamandal founded by Magaram Bed in Calcutta. You know, this was the second Prajamandal of Rajasthan which was organized outside the Rajasthan. The Bikaner Prajamandal was formulated organized in the Calcutta, capital of West Bengal, in 1936 by the Magaram Bed, and when it was reorganized again in 1937, then Lakshmi Devi Acharya, the first woman, became the president of this Prajamandal. And Bikaner Prajamandal raised the so many questions or demands before the Bikaner states. That time Ganga Singh was ruling over the states. And the Bharatpur Prajamandal was the second Prajamandal, which was founded outside the Rajasthan in the Rewari, Haryana. The Bharatpur Prajamandal organized in 1938 outside the Bharatpur in the Rewari region by the Gopilal Yadav, Jugal Kishore Chaturvedi, Master Adityendra, Thakur Desraj, Rebati Ravan Upadhyay and so many others. And Bharatpur Prajamandal made the important contribution for awareing the peoples of the Bharatpur states. And this was the Jaislmer Prajamandal, and the Jaislmer Prajamandal founded by the Mithalal Vyas, and the Jaislmer Prajamandal was established in the Jodhpur outside the Jaipur, outside the Jaisalmer. Mithalal Vyas in 1945, and the Sirohi Prajamandal started by the Gokulbhai Bhatt in 1945, and this was the Banswara Prajamandal in 1945 by the Bhupendranath Trivedi, and the Dungarpur Prajamandal established in 1944 by the Bhogilal Pandya and Gauri Shankar Upadhyay. Two important incidents occurred during the Dungarpur Prajamandal. The Prajamandal spread awareness among the Bhil tribes mainly and demanded different political civil rights for the Bhil peoples against the monarchies. And the Mewar rulers that time ordered to suppress the movement, and Bhogilal Pandya lead the movement. And in 1947, Poonawada incident took place, May 1947, when a school was went by the governments, and in the 1947, 21st June, when a teacher Sengha Bhai Lal was imprisoned by the states, and the movement was led by the Kalibai and Nanbai Khan, and both the sacrificed their lives against the states on 21st June 1947, and this is called the Rastapal incident. The Poonawada and the Rastapal incidents are related to the Dungarpur Prajamandal, and this was the Hadoti region, Hadoti Prajamandal, founded by the Pandit Nenuram Sharma in Kota, 1934, and before this the Bundi Prajamandal in 1931 started by the Kantilal, and this was the Dholpur Prajamandal, established by the Krishna Dutt Paliwal, and the Karoli Prajamandal by the Trilok Chand Mathur, and the so many other Prajamandal in the different princely states. All the Prajamandals demanded the same kinds of political, civil or economic rights, and finally the consequence took place. All the princely states agreed to provide the rights, and when India got independence in 1947, the princely states was merged with the union government, and the monarchies was overthrown, and the democratic system was started in the Rajasthan, and the democratic government provide all kinds of right to the peoples under the Indian constitution. However, before the integration, the princely states provide some rights, but they were not absolutely in the limited way. All the rights were given under the Indian constitution to the peoples of Rajasthan, and after the execution of Indian constitution 26 January 1950, the Prajamandal movement was ended, because there was no matter of the disputes or any kinds of rights against the states, because now India and all the states were brought under the constitutional rule. Okay, so this is the story or history of the Prajamandal movement in the Rajasthan. Okay, thank you.